I don't know, for the last maybe 1,000 years, we had this skinny guy that started this small company now. Asked him to serve as our MC and honorary chairperson.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Serve as our MC and honorary chairperson. But when you're connected with someone for as long as Mark and I have been connected and have had conversations, sometimes you don't know which one is okay to share. And so without giving too much conversations that we've had over the years, I do want to say this, is that if there was a white person that had any true reason to have a grievance about how they had been treated by some black folks, and instead of him carrying around bitterness and anger, the white kid that had gotten harmed badly when he found him a black man, and has held that mentor in high regard, will tell you that he attributes his today's success to that mentor, and made a commitment that he was going to be an advocate and a voice for marginalized people, and particularly to link up arms with this commission and say some stuff that some of us commissioners frankly can't say. He was unapologetically woke, will say so, and is not concerned about being ushered out of any boardrooms because he creates his own. I have a tremendous amount of admiration for him and love, and I don't even ever have to ask him for money. I usually, day after, I would pay rent, so no matter what I'm in. And it's not $50,000 is not a little bit of money. One year he gave us $70,000. And it's not a little bit of money. And he doesn't have to. Right? He could choose to support any organization that he wants. He's got like 1,000 offices. In Delaware or somewhere else. Anyway, I am just honored every year to be able to share a stage with you to join us. Without further ado, you're welcome.
Very nice.
I know, I'm a nice person.
Yeah. I didn't expect that. Threw me off. Because that is a story detail that not many people know.
I hope I wasn't supposed to.
No, that's all fine. Because I talk about it a lot now. Because you kind of have to. People understand why I do what I do. So, I'll start with, it's hard to follow Karen. She is like the spark of energy. We've done numerous events, and she just lights it up. Actually, she tees it up for me, but and then I got to work harder. But it has, this event is the biggest thing that we do at Cinnaire. And the whole organization is all about it. And it's something when I started, Jeff knows because he was on our board for a number of years. He knows how important this is, the meaning of it, and how important it is to us as an organization. We have built an organization over the last, we just finished our 30-year anniversary in December. We had a big celebration for Thanksgiving. A lot of reflection, a lot of really nice things got said. But looking back over the 30 years, when I started it, it was based on serving people who have been ignored basically forever. Ignored to have access to safe, decent, affordable housing, being ignored by institutions, I'll just say institutions, and not being able to get loans to buy a house, not be able to get loans to do anything. And that was our role, was to fill this gap, starting in Michigan, of convincing investors that their money would be safe by investing in disinvested communities. And everybody thought I was crazy for taking it on. Like, how are you going to convince those banks and insurance companies and corporations to do, because they never have, but why would they start doing it now? And I guess I knew how to sell. And selling isn't making a pitch from a script, selling is from your heart. And that was the difference. And 30 years later, she mentioned we're in 9 states, at offices, got 150 employees now, offering a whole multitude of financial resources that have not historically been available. We have a lending company, we have an equity company, we have a title company, we now have a development company that's focusing on working in the most disinvested areas where there's no development capacity and build the development capacity of people of color that live in those communities. I've been, for the last 8 weeks, laid up, had some health issues, had some surgery, which I've never been off work. I started working when I was 10. I've never been off work for 8 weeks. Never in my life. And it wasn't any fun. And recovery was a little harder than I thought. But when you have that time off, you start thinking a lot. And my wokeness, as we say, whatever the hell that word means, I took time to study and read. Watch shows. I mean, 8 weeks, that's a lot of reading, it's a lot of shows. I got a lot of stuff in my head. And I start preparing in my head for this event, usually 2 weeks before. I've had 8 weeks. I've laid at 2 o'clock in the morning. I do have a full 45-minute keynote speech I could do right now. And I'm really good at 2 o'clock in the morning. I got that thing down. And then I wake up in the morning and it's, dang, what was that? But there's something, I'm kind of fired up. I got a lot to say, and it's not popular. But we, look at where we're at. Look at where we're at. We got wars going on. Hate is like the cool thing. Racism is right back. Don't think. I mean, it is. Cuts across all people. All people. Every time there's a blip of something. COVID, it was Asians. Israel, Palestinians. Well, it's just anybody who's a Muslim. It's all the same. That's what these people think. Anti-Semitism's up over 300%. Now there's the backlash around MBN, which is backlash really of the black community. And what's missing in all this? Love. And that's what this guy's been talking about. This is what he gave his life for. And we aren't even doing it. Now, tomorrow, Monday is the day to celebrate him, and there's probably going to cross the line, but you're going to hear a lot of people get up and give really nice speeches, and they're going to quote you, like they always do. And then they leave, and they don't do anything. They don't. They just talk. They talk to their supposed to be 2 minutes, but they go like 5 or 8. And they leave. And nothing happens. We're in a worse situation this year than we were a year ago. So we have to use this as a time to not just advocate, but become active. In my mind, that's what Monday is about. It's not looking backwards anymore. It's about looking forward, because we got some cameras, we got some shit on our hands right now. And if any of us walk out after we all give our little thoughts, and we're not doing something about it, I mean, how can we even celebrate it if we're not truly carrying it out in our lives every day about getting love and peace back into the conversation rather than division and hate and racism and war? That's what we're in a serious state right now. And it was in our parents, my parents, not, well, I think they're all kind of a little bit older. You guys are. In our parents, my grandparents' lifetime, we were, where we're at right now, we were at before. Nobody knows this. Nobody, this is this whole history thing about waking up. You gotta study this stuff. The name, D.C. Stevenson. How many of you know who he is? Look it up. Dangerous individual. After World War I, he shows up in Oklahoma. Nobody knew who the hell he was, where he came from. He had stories. He was graduated at Yale. His dad owned a coal company. He owned stock in it. He was a World War I veteran. He could sell. He was a con man, grifter. And all he was trying to figure out was a womanizer. But he had this ability to figure out what people's fears were, because he saw when you get people's fears, you gain power and you make money. This is 1921, up until about 1929, 1930. Where what he ended up being was the Grand Dragon of the Klan in Indiana. Everybody thinks the South was the Klan. I don't know. The largest membership of the Klan was in the North. And this guy started it in Indiana in the early 20s. He was so powerful, and he played it. You know what one of his slogans was? Make America, America again. That was the slogan of his campaign of raising all this money and gaining almost 400,000 members of the Klan not just in Indiana. He was Grand Dragon from 7 states. Over 1 million members of the Klan for that period of time. You know, the Klan was behind Prohibition. They were a movement to create Prohibition. They're selling this. He used the churches, white Protestant pastors, to send his message about the purity of the white race, stopping immigration, because he didn't want those Irish, didn't want those Italians, didn't want anybody that wasn't white coming to his country anymore. And he was successful because he was able to get Supreme Court justices, circuit court justices, prosecutors, mayors, police chiefs, all members of the Klan, in power. He declared himself the law of Indiana publicly. Made millions of dollars off of this. And he was the person behind building this power structure that was basically about 2 years from being in the White House. There were congressmen and senators that were part of this. You got to read up on it. This is I'm only one generation from this. And when you read about this, the terminology, the words, the sales pitch, we're hearing it all again. It's right out of the book. This guy's playbook is being played again. People's fears are being played on. And that's what we've got to be. I mean, this is a wonderful event. But we got to start, we're on a slippery slope right now. Voting rights are changing. They're changing them. I mean, that's not just a theory, it's happening. They're taking away voting rights any way that they can. Women's rights have already been taken, that's gone. People have different beliefs about that. But it's still, it's happening. They're banning books. They're banning books on Ruby Bridges, Rosa Parks. Can't talk about that in school. Goes on and on. This is happening right now. You think it was here? What do you think he'd be saying? Huh? There'd be peaceful protests happening in our streets. There'd be things going on, real things at the Capitol, not destroying it, but making it stronger. That's where we're at. And we've got to step up. I'm sorry, I'm practicing. But, now, I talked about last year, it's woke, whatever that means, it's weaponized, now DE&I is weaponized. Look at this conversation going on between Mark Cuban, Mr. Musk, and this jackass Ackman, who wrote this, 7-page piece, which is nothing but racism, about Harvard. And it's a good thing they got rid of gay. Now D&I is, and you're seeing the backlash. We are seeing it in our own business. After George Floyd, we had institutions calling up saying, we want to create a $100 million fund with you to do something in the black community. It was very specific. Now they're called $50 million. But all it was show. It was just PR. It just showed. There was nothing there. When you told them to do that, you had to change the underwriting guidelines. So, well, we can't do that. Still want a return. We did finally close at the end of the year what we called the Blue Fund. We raised $60 million in it. And we were kind of specific about who it was for. And then the Supreme Court thing happened, and then, things started, so we had to change the terms. It was really pissed me off. We had to do that, but, we want to get the money out on the street. There's backlash now on DE&I. We're not changing. We're staying the course. We've been on this course for 30 years. We're not changing. We're not going to chicken out, be afraid, to come and speak at things like this because of what my community might think. I'm not going to, not do some program because I could get, that could be that. Corporate world is now backlashing. The whole ESG thing, that's gone. There's no social impact. But that's what's happening. I'm telling you, look at this DC thing. Because we've been there before. And it can happen again. So, anyway, thank you for listening to me. Look, I'm laying around 8 weeks. I'm not talking to anybody except my wife. But she's done with me. So, anyway, thank you very much.
Hey, where's Tony and all my teammates?
There's Tony.
I see Tony and Fonda and Kelly. Liz kept them on. Oh, I'm supposed to take a picture. Okay.
I didn't know who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it? Yeah, I got it. I'm not going to touch it hardly.
I was joking to tell you that Ruth saying to be like that, and they just put all the text in.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, my name is Celebration. We can set up something to give you a keynote. I got a whole bunch of people out there invited.
Well, you should have seen the reaction when I did the Mission Bankers.